Hughes who wrote the words, "What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode?" Dr. King was a great drum major for justice. Dr. King many times would have to excite an audience because there were many people in the audience who were tired of racism and oppression. People who had been oppressed so long until almost all hope was gone. And many people would ask Dr. King, how long do we have to wait until change comes? Dr. King and his oratory skills would tell them, how long? Not long. Because no lie can live forever. How long? Not long. Because you shall reap what you sow. How long? Not long. Because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. How long? Not long. Because mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He's loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. How long? Not long. Truth forever on the scaffold. Wrong forever on the throne. Yet the scaffold sways the future. And behind the dim unknown standeth God within the shadows, keeping watch above his own. Dr. King, toward the latter years of his life, was bringing forth another major march that he was going to have in Washington. It was called the Poor People's March, where he was going to bring poor people from all races, creed, and color together to march on Washington for the liberty and freedom from oppression economically. Many of his lieutenants argued with him as he got the news from Memphis, Tennessee, that some garbage workers were being oppressed. They asked Dr. King not to go because he needed to spend all of his energy toward making sure that the Poor People's March went forward. But because Dr. King was a drum major for justice, he went to Memphis. And you all know that during that time it was very volatile. As a matter of fact, many people were scared for Dr. King's life. On April 3rd, 1968, Dr. King was in bed and he was exhausted. He didn't know that there was a church full of people waiting to hear his oratory. They went and got Dr. King and said, "Dr. King, you got to get up. They're waiting on you." So Dr. King went to the church that night. I heard him say, "We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter to me now because I've been to the mountaintop. And I don't mind like anybody. I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go to the mountaintop. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I want you to know tonight